What if I told you an Amish family who leaves their community wakes up with no birth certificates, no driver's licenses, and no one to call for help? Here is what the first year of freedom actually costs them. The departure. The family leaves before dawn. The father loads a few belongings into a borrowed car, clothes, a few family photos, a small amount of cash saved secretly over months. They cannot take much. Most of what they own belongs to the Amish way of life and cannot come with them. The children wait confused. They are told they are leaving permanently. No goodbyes to friends. No final visits to grandparents. The parents made this decision and the children must follow. The car pulls away from the farm as the sun rises. The mother looks back one last time. That is the last time she will see her childhood home. Her parents have been told of the decision. They did not try to stop it, but they made clear what would follow. Shunning. Excommunication. The family is now cut off. First week survival. The family drives 3 hours to a small town where a nonprofit organization helps ex-Amish transition. They arrive with no plan beyond reaching this address. The organization provides temporary housing in a basement apartment. The space is small but furnished. 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a kitchen, electricity, running water. Things the family is not accustomed to. The first night, no one sleeps well. The sounds are wrong. Traffic outside, the hum of the refrigerator, electric lights that can be switched on and off. The children are frightened. The parents are exhausted. The next morning, a volunteer from the organization arrives to help. She brings groceries. She explains how things work, how to use the stove, how to flush the toilet, how to lock the door. These are not things the Amish family knows. Their outhouse had no flush. Their wood stove had no dials. The volunteer is patient. She has helped dozens of ex-Amish families. She knows the confusion. She knows the fear. Document crisis. Within days, the family realizes they have no official identity, no birth certificates, no social security cards, no driver's licenses. The Amish do not prioritize government documentation. Many births are recorded only in family Bibles. The father and mother were born at home with midwives. No hospital records exist. Without documents, they cannot get jobs, cannot rent apartments, cannot enroll children in public school. The process to obtain identification is complicated. They must prove they exist without the documents that prove they exist. The nonprofit helps them navigate the bureaucracy. They request birth certificates from county offices in Pennsylvania. Some counties have records, others do not. They apply for social security numbers. The process takes weeks. Meanwhile, they are stuck. They cannot move forward with their lives until the government recognizes they are real people. The waiting is frustrating. The father wants to work. The mother wants stability. But everything requires identification they do not have. Learning technology. While waiting for documents, the family must learn to function in the modern world. The father needs a driver's license. He has driven a car only a few times, always illegally, before leaving. Now he must pass a written test and a driving test. He studies the driver's manual, struggling with questions about traffic laws he has never needed to know. The mother learns to use a smartphone donated by the nonprofit. She has never used a phone before. The touchscreen confuses her. She accidentally calls people. She cannot figure out how to send text messages. A volunteer sits with her for hours, teaching basic functions. The children adapt faster. They are young and curious. They learn to use a television remote. They discover YouTube. They ask questions about everything they see. Why do people dress this way? Why do women wear makeup? What is pizza? The parents watch their children absorb the new culture with mixed emotions. Pride that they are learning. Fear that they are losing their Amish identity too quickly. Employment struggle. After 6 weeks, the father finally has a driver's license and social security number. He can legally work, but finding a job is harder than expected. He has an 8th grade education. He has no resume, no references, no work history that can be verified. He applies at construction companies. They ask for certifications he does not have. He applies at warehouses. They want high school diplomas. He finally finds work at a small carpentry shop owned by a man who hires ex-Amish. The pay is low, $9 per hour. But it is a start. The mother wants to work too. She has skills. She can sew, cook, and clean. But she has no childcare for the younger children. Daycare costs more than she could earn. She stays home, managing the household and caring for the children. The father's paycheck barely covers rent and food. The nonprofit supplements with donated groceries and clothing. The family lives frugally, stretching every dollar. They cannot afford luxuries. They cannot save money. They are surviving, not thriving. The father works long hours, often 10 or 12 per day. He is exhausted but determined. This life is what he chose. He will make it work. Housing search. After 3 months in the nonprofit's apartment, the family must find their own housing. The apartment is only for short-term transition. They search for rentals they can afford. Most landlords require credit checks. The family has no credit history. They have never used credit cards or taken loans. They are invisible to the financial system. Some landlords refuse to rent to them. Others demand extra security deposits. The father offers to pay 3 months in advance using savings from his carpentry job and help from the nonprofit. Finally, they find a landlord willing to take a chance. The apartment is small, 2 bedrooms for a family of 5. The rent is $600 per month, half the father's income. The apartment is in a rough neighborhood, sirens at night. Broken windows on nearby buildings, but it is theirs. They sign a lease, the first legal contract they have ever signed. They move in with donated furniture, a couch, a table, beds, dishes. Everything comes from charity. They own almost nothing, but they have a place to live. The children share 1 bedroom, the parents take the other. It is crowded, but it is home. Children's adjustment. The children enroll in public school. This is traumatic for everyone. The oldest child is 12 and has attended only Amish school through 8th grade. She reads at a 3rd grade level in English. She speaks Pennsylvania Dutch at home and struggles with English grammar. The younger children, ages 8 and 5, have even less preparation. They are placed in grades based on age, not ability. They are immediately behind their classmates. The other children notice they are different. The ex-Amish children do not understand pop culture references. They do not know how to use computers. They wear donated clothes that do not fit well. They are teased. The oldest daughter comes home crying. She begs to be homeschooled. But the mother does not know how to teach beyond what she learned in Amish school. The children must stay in public school. The school offers extra help, tutoring, English as a second language support. Slowly, the children improve. But the social isolation is harder to fix. They do not fit in. They are not Amish anymore, but they are not like their English classmates either. They exist in between, belonging nowhere. Family shunning. 4 months after leaving, the father tries to call his parents. He has called several times already. They have not answered. This time, his younger brother answers. The conversation is brief. The brother says their parents will not speak to him. The church has placed him under the ban. Formal excommunication. Meidung, social shunning, is now in effect. His family cannot eat with him, cannot do business with him, cannot have normal social contact. If he returns to the community, they must treat him as an outsider. The brother says their mother cries every day. Their father is angry and hurt. The siblings have been warned not to maintain contact. The call ends. The father sits in silence. He knew this would happen. Shunning is the consequence of leaving after baptism, but knowing does not make it easier. His children will not see their grandparents. His wife will not see her parents either. Her family has imposed the same shunning. Both sides of the family are lost. The loneliness is overwhelming. The father thought freedom would feel liberating. Instead, it feels like exile. 6-month mark. 6 months after leaving, the family has established a routine. The father works 6 days a week at the carpentry shop. His boss has given him a small raise. He now earns $10 per hour. The mother has found part-time work cleaning houses while the children are in school. She earns $8 per hour. Together, they bring in enough to cover rent, food, and basic expenses. They have no savings, no emergency fund, but they are no longer dependent on the nonprofit. The children are improving in school. The oldest daughter has made one friend, another girl who was kind to her. The younger children are learning English faster than their parents. They translate for their parents at doctor's appointments and grocery stores. The family has started attending a small Mennonite church. The Mennonites are similar enough to the Amish that the family feels somewhat comfortable, but it is not the same. The sermons are in English, the hymns are different, the community is welcoming but unfamiliar. The father misses his Amish church. The mother misses the simplicity of their old life, but they do not regret leaving. They have freedom. Their children will have opportunities. The cost is high, but the trade feels worth it. 1 year later, 1 year after leaving, the family gathers in their small apartment to mark the anniversary. They do not celebrate. It is not a happy occasion, but they acknowledge what they have survived. The father now manages a small crew at the carpentry shop. He earns $12 per hour. The mother works 20 hours per week cleaning. The children are thriving in school. The oldest daughter is reading at grade level. The younger children have friends. They play soccer, they watch cartoons, they are becoming English children. The parents see this with bittersweet feelings. Their children are adapting, but they are losing their Amish heritage. The family still has no contact with their extended families. The shunning remains in effect. The father has accepted he may never speak to his parents again. The mother grieves quietly. She misses her mother every day, but life goes on. The family has learned to use technology. They have smartphones. They watch television. They drive a used car purchased with help from a loan. They have credit now. They pay bills online. They are becoming part of the modern world. They are no longer Amish. They are ex-Amish, and they are surviving. The 1 year anniversary forces reflection. The father thinks about what he imagined this year would be like versus the reality. He thought they would feel more settled by now. Instead, they still feel like outsiders in both worlds. Too modern for the Amish, too backward for the English. The children have adapted better than the adults. They embraced their new lives without the burden of what was lost. They do not remember their Amish grandparents well enough to miss them deeply. They do not long for a simpler life they barely experienced. For them, this is normal now, but the parents carry the grief. Every holiday reminds them of family gatherings they will never attend again. Every Sunday at the Mennonite church reminds them of the Amish services they once knew. The mother sometimes dreams she is back on the farm, only to wake up in the small apartment and remember where she is. The adjustment is harder than anyone warned them. The nonprofits prepared them for practical challenges, but no one prepared them for the emotional toll of permanent exile from everyone they loved. The first year after leaving the Amish is the hardest year of an ex-Amish family's life. Everything changes overnight. The family loses their community, their support system, their cultural identity, and their extended family. They gain freedom, but freedom comes with responsibilities they were never taught to manage. They must learn to navigate a world they were raised to avoid. They must obtain documents, find jobs, secure housing, enroll children in school, and adapt to technology, all while grieving the loss of everyone they left behind. The Amish are not prepared for the modern world. 8th grade education does not qualify anyone for well-paying jobs. No credit history makes renting apartments nearly impossible. No driver's license limits employment options. No understanding of technology creates barriers in every aspect of life. Ex-Amish families start from zero. They rely on nonprofits and charity to survive the transition. Some families make it. They find jobs, establish routines, and build new lives. Their children adapt and eventually thrive. Others struggle for years. Some return to the Amish, unable to cope with the isolation and difficulty. The statistics are not encouraging. Many ex-Amish face poverty, mental health struggles, and ongoing trauma from being cut off from their families. But those who persist find something the Amish do not have: choice. The ability to decide how to live, what to believe, and what future their children will have. That choice costs everything. It costs family, it costs community, it costs cultural identity. But for those who leave, the cost is worth paying. 1 year after leaving, the family is not thriving, but they are surviving, and survival is enough.